Hey there, Bowie television watchers. This is Candi CWall Waller checking in as I do all throughout the Washington Commanders season and all throughout the year to give you the latest and greatest information on the Washington Commanders. As you all can see, I am not sitting here by myself. I have a guest today, and I'm pretty sure everybody recognized him before you did me. But I am here today with Washington legend, NFL great, London Fletcher. London, thank you so much for joining me.
I appreciate you joining, asking me to join you.
Listen, so big weekend, big week. The
Yeah,
Commanders have made the playoffs, finishes the regular season 12-5 after a 4-13 season. Just go ahead and talk to me about your experience from your perspective, what you have seen so far in this team.
man, this team has been amazing. Exceeded expectations. I think most people would agree with that. It probably, except those guys in that building, those guys on that field, and the for them to be able to turn this season around so quickly, turn things around so quickly, going from, as you mentioned, 4-13 to where they are now. I think it's a credit first and foremost to Josh Harris, the ownership group, them making the changes, them going out hiring Adam Peters first and foremost, and then Peters and Josh Harris hiring Dan Quinn and the staff that they put together, and then the free agents and the draft class and the guys that they held over from the previous year's roster. It's a credit to those guys because what they've been able to do in such a short period of time with this type of turnover, it's really unprecedented. And those guys, man, it's been fun to watch these guys. Been fun to call the games, and I'm enjoying this every bit. Like, only thing I guess would be a little bit better if maybe I was out there hitting a few guys on Sundays.
Well, when we see you on in the booth, you are just as excited as anyone else. So what has that experience been to call these games and in the clutch moments trying to hold it all together?
I tell what people that I'm a fan up there in the booth with just 16 years of practical experience. That's the big difference where I have 16 years of playing experience, but at the end of the day, I'm also a fan. I'm a fan of these guys, and my reaction, especially those in-game moments, or whether it's the Hail Mary play and pass that Jayden Daniels made to Noah Brown, or last weekend and Terry with Mariota to Terry McLaurin, just those reactions are my normal reaction as a fan, and then from there I put my practical experience going on there, but it's been great. Something that I couldn't imagine. This is my third year doing it. The previous two seasons were kind of rough. Had our ups and downs moments, but this year it's been a blast.
Tell me your thoughts on Dan Quinn and his coaching staff.
I think the first and foremost thing about Dan Quinn is from the first moment I met him, which was right after he did his press conference, his introductory press conference. When I met him, it was almost like we had known each other for forever, and he's just so inviting, embracing. He's his self awareness, his how he treats people. I'm sure I see it the way he treats you guys in the media as well. Like he's just very accepting and accommodating. But the coaching staff that he's assembled, a lot of different people from different experiences. It wasn't a situation where he went out and hired. My dog is coming in here. It wasn't a situation where he went out and hired a bunch of coaches that he had previous experience with. He brought in different people from different backgrounds. I would say this: the coaching staff has done a great job of getting all and everything out of this roster. It's not a perfect roster by any stretch, but they get these guys to play above probably what the talent level would say. But I mean, it's definitely a credit to Dan Quinn and his coaching staff.
Absolutely. And like you just mentioned, you see how they, treat all of us. And so it's definitely been a different vibe for us as well, from getting a chance to eat, getting food there on Wednesdays and
Yes.
Thursdays, and just the overall camaraderie. He does make it a point to try to get to know each and every one of us. So that is different as well. I have to get into this. Your position group, the linebacker. What do you think about this linebacker core?
Oh man, they've been great. They've been both those guys making all pro teams. It's a testament to them and the work and the impact that they've had on the season. I thought both those guys should have made the Pro Bowl as well. but it didn't happen for them. They're both alternates, and they finally what the difference was. The team went out and actually invested some money in a linebacker core. You get Bobby Wagner, perennial All Pro, perennial Pro Bowler, future Hall of Famer. You bring him in, and for his not just his leadership, but it's still his playmaking ability, and he still can make plays, which is evident by him making All Pro. And Frankie Louisville was a guy that I live in Charlotte, so I knew a little bit about him, but he still has been better than advertised. And a lot of people knew what he was about. I mean, he's a hellraiser on that football field. Tremendous, energy bringer. He's relentless. His pass rushing ability. He's really an energizer to this defense and really to this team. And I'm great. I'm glad to see those guys reaping the fruits of their label by making the All Pro teams and looking forward to watching them play in the playoffs.
Give me your thoughts on Jayden Daniels. We know Jayden is been in all of the awards and accolades and highlight reels all throughout the season with national and local media. So, what have you seen from Jayden Daniels this season?
I would say going back to the first time we interviewed him, which was the day after he got drafted, been extremely impressed with him. Him coming in as the Heisman Trophy winner, number 2 overall draft pick, just the humility that he showed in that interview, and then to see him kind of continue with that same humility, but also the confidence that he has a quiet confidence and his poise under pressure. Just how it's rare to have a rookie have that type of poise and be able to do the things he's been able to do, especially in these late game situations when you have to go out and make plays, and whether it's with him making a play with his legs or throwing a touchdown. He's just been so poised, been better than advertised. And the thing about him is he's only going to get better as he continues to get more experience and understand the NFL game a lot more. So although he's going to be offensive rookie of the year, I think he should actually garner some MVP votes. I don't know if the national media sees the same way, but from what he's been able to do on this team, get us to where we are with. I mean, you got Terry, who's been an outstanding guy, but when you look at the other quarterbacks that are in the competition, in the conversation of MVP, I would say that those guys have probably more weapons at their disposal in terms of as opposed to Jayden Daniels. But I'm looking forward to seeing just what he's going to do, not only in the playoffs, but also as he gets more experience and get more years under his belt.
What 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 has surprised you the most about this team this season?
I would say how quickly this has come together in terms of winning at this level. I felt like they would be more competitive as a team. I just felt that just because of the way Dan Quinn is and how coming from the pedigree of Seattle and Pete Carroll and all that, they always preach competition. So I knew that and felt that they would be a lot more competitive team than we were in last year and in the years past. But how quickly they've been able to come together and get to this point, especially when you think about the roster turnover. You're talking about nearly 70% of the roster being new. And I would say this: the being able to win all these games in the whining moments, that probably would be the thing that surprised me the most, to be able to have all these late late drives, the Philly game, the Chicago game, the Dallas game, defending the play in New Orleans to win that ball game. I mean, it's been so many winning moments that this team has in the Falcons game. So yeah, that's been probably the biggest surprise.
So, what do you think? Tampa Bay up this weekend, a rematch of sorts. We know the team saw them in week 1. Both teams very different. Baker Mayfield having an excellent season. What are some of the things that are key to watch in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Yeah, just going back, first and foremost, Baker has been outstanding. He had a really good season last year, but this year he had a great season, throwing for 41 touchdowns. He has the 16 interceptions, but the playmaking that he brings to this football team, they also kind of feed off his energy. He'll make a play, a scramble. He won't slide. He'll try to take on a defensive back or a linebacker, and they feed off of him. They got a really good running back in Bucky Irvin. and obviously Mike Evans, who's been a 1,000-yard receivers, 11 consecutive seasons now. So
Yep.
they have playmakers on offense. Defensively, they got some guys. They're gonna blitz the hell out of you. So you got to be ready to deal with that. And they blitzed the heck out of Jayden in that first game. So expect more of the same of that type of pressure. But yeah, I really like the way our team is playing. I like us in this matchup. I like the fact that if you look back at that week one game and how far Jayden has come along, and not just Jayden, but this team in general. The defense is a lot better, especially on the back end. The offense, they have an identity. They know what style they want to play. They know who they are. Jayden has seen 17 weeks of NFL defenses now, so he kind of understands how that goes. He understands, what's considered NFL open, what's considered, throwing a guy open. There was times in the first game where there were opportunities that he didn't take just in the passing game, just because it was new experience for him. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he handles that, how he handles those situations, and really see how the defense is able to stop Baker. See if we can get him on the ground and finish some of the pressures that we did get to him on. But we got to him, but then just didn't get him down. So hopefully we can get him down this time.
So what do you think are some keys to the Commanders' victory? What must they do to get this playoff win on Sunday night?
First and foremost, you got to be able to get Baker Mayfield down. When he's stronger than you think. When you see him kind of break tackles and he'll shake guys off of him. So when you get pressure on him, you got open opportunities to get him down. We got to finish those sacks. Got to finish, not allow him to escape the pass rush. Defensively, stopping that run. Bucky Irvin, he's gonna be a major weapon for him. Got to be able to get him, corralled. Can't let him get going, because now you already have Mike Evans you're going to be dealing with. So those are two things when I look at from a defense standpoint. Get a few. Third thing, get 2 or 3 takeaways. That would be great if we can get 2 or 3 takeaways. I think that definitely serve us better in terms of trying to win that football game. From a offensive standpoint, handle their blitz. It's going to be a high pressure package. Whether it's just in the passing game and also run game, they're going to be run blitzing. Got to get that run game going. You don't want to go on the road and continue to not have a consistent run game. It can't just be all on Jayden Daniels to get that run game going. We got to get some productivity out the running backs in the running game, just to be able to loosen that Buccaneers defense up and not be operating in a bunch of second and long, third and long situation. We got to get great productivity out the passing game, and then also Jayden when it's time to go make a play. So those are the things that I look at as being the key to us winning this game.
I super duper appreciate you, London, for joining me and popping on play for this playoff week. I know for me, this is my first time covering a playoff game. This is, I was like, I don't know.
It's gonna be fun. Sunday night will be fun.
Yeah, I am definitely looking forward to it. Of course, it's always better with the win. So we will see what happens. So, Bowie TV watchers, make sure you all stay locked in on Bowie TV on all platforms. We will be in Tampa and catching all of the action and various vibes as hopefully the Washington Commanders come back with a victory. So, London, thank you again, and I'll be seeing you soon.
All right, thanks, Candi.